Hi, this is Arun from freshersworld.com. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about communication tips that you have to have while you attend an interview. Communication tips is not just talking, it's about your complete body gestures and your hand movements and everything. So through this video, you'll be able to understand what are communication tips and how important it is while you attend an interview. The first thing that you have to keep in mind if you're attending an interview, make sure you reach on time. If you reach on time, make sure that you behave yourself from the time you enter the gate till you reach your interview room, because there might be a lot of people observing you. So say example, you go to the reception and you ask them where the interview room is. You never know, the interviewer might be standing right there, or when you get into the lift, the interview might be somewhere around you. Make sure you well behave from the time you enter the campus till the room. A lot of people have this habit. Someone might just tell you they're calling you. So before you enter the room, they just open the door and walk in even without the permission. So when you enter the room, make sure you ask them, may I please come in? When they say please come in, just walk into the room and gentle handshake. When you handshake with them, do not bow your head too much. A lot of people have this habit of bowing down too much because they respect them a lot. No. And when you're handshaking with them, make sure you stand straight, look into their eyes, and it's a firm handshake, a gentle firm handshake. You might watch a lot of videos in order to find out what is the perfect handshake. And also do not get too nervous because your hands would start sweating when you're handshaking with them. So make sure you have a hanky in your pocket, and before you walk into the room, you can use some sanitizer. And when they ask you to introduce yourself, make sure you've well prepared at least some 10 to 15 times at home with your friends, with your families, or when you're traveling in your bike. You can practice a lot about yourself, because that's the most important thing while you answer any kind of questions to the interviewer. They might ask you, explain about yourself. Do not miss out on any kind of opportunities. Make sure you explain them each and everything, your achievements, your roles that you've had in college, the roles that you've carried from your childhood, and a lot of things. You can explain them all these. And do not get nervous. When you get nervous, what happens? The slight fear comes within you. Will I get this job or not? We tend to get too desperate, like, oh my God, if I answer this, will the interviewer be happy? What will he think about me? Do not have all those things in mind. Be friendly. Make sure it's just another friend that you're talking to, and have a light sense of humor. If the interviewer is cracking a joke, smile a little bit. And at times when you have to crack jokes, crack light jokes, and make sure you're not sarcastic at all. Some interviewer might be an NRI. He'll be talking in an American accent. Make sure you stay in a neutral accent. Do not overstress your accent. Say if the interviewer is asking a question, do not interrupt him. He might ask you a question, do you know what kind of subject knowledge do you have on Java? When you're explaining them, do not get into too much of technicality. I know this, I know that. Answer crisp and clear to the point, because interviewers' time is very important. Do not waste their time. Another important communication tip is, say there might be 2-3 people in the interview room. The interview panel might have about 2-3 members. When someone's asking you a question, you look at them and start the answer, and make sure you cover everyone in that room. Do not keep focusing only on one person. If there are about 2-3 people sitting in an interview panel, make sure you cover everyone in that room. It's called a lighthouse effect. When you're answering to someone, make sure whoever's asked you a question, look at them and start the answer, and make sure you look left and right to all the interview panel members. Smile when required, because people who are nervous will never smile. And along with your resume, make sure you carry a white sheet and a pen. Leave it on the table. When they're telling you important things, write down those points. And before you leave the room, make sure you get to know what are the things that you have to concentrate on. What would be my next set of procedures that I have to follow? And what is his name and everything. And when you leave the room, make sure you thank all the people who are sitting there. If there's one person, you can just say thank you to him and handshake and move. If there are multiple people, make sure you greet every person before you leave the room. Keep this in mind when you're talking to the interviewer. Make sure you talk loud and you be confident, because when you talk loudly, you tend to get more confident. This habit can be brought by reading newspapers loudly at home or talking to your friends loudly over the phone. These things make you feel more confident, and also the interviewer might think, or the interviewer for sure think, that you're very confident and you're not nervous while you're attending the interview. And this is the most preferred thing. Do not keep calling them sir, ma'am, sir, ma'am, sir, ma'am. When you get to know their names, you can always address them with the first name, or you can call them with Mr. last name. Say John Fernandez, example. You can call him John, or you can call him Mr. Fernandez. Do not keep calling them, as I say, sir, ma'am, and all that. And when you're talking to them, do not stammer. That's why I say always maintain your pace. Do not talk too fast or do not talk too slow. Maintain a pace from the beginning and you follow the same pace. Because when you start stammering, you tend to use fillers like and all that. Also, do not call them like dude, bro, and all that, because these things get very common nowadays. So make sure you call them, if you're not comfortable calling them with their names, you can call them sir as well. And thank you so much for watching this video. These are small tips and tricks on communication tips. And keep watching our channels for the next set of videos, and all the best to everyone.